Welcome back to Techsters News, where we bring you the latest in the world of science and technology. When we discuss renewable energy and how it has created a buzz all over the technology world for the longest time, you may be bewildered about hydrogen's unbelievable case. This is due to the element's peculiar properties, which continue to perplex scientists. Regardless of its abundance, hydrogen appears to be late to the party. While other elements were becoming engaged in all forms of renewable technologies, the issues related to hydrogen are its reproduction and storage issues, which scientists have been working on for decades. Several technological advances made by these scientists have resulted in some developments that are expected to aid in the resolution of these problems, with recent breakthrough innovations that may bring new improvements to hydrogen's loopholes. What are these groundbreaking devices developed by scientists? What did the scientists do to accomplish this? And how will this breakthrough contribute to hydrogen becoming a more viable renewable energy source? Join us as we investigate how scientists knew the hydrogen breakthrough will change everything. Hydrogen, the first element on the periodic table, is the most abundant in nature, an element 3 times as abundant as helium, the second on the periodic table and the next most common element. Hydrogen makes up about 0.14% of the Earth's crust by weight, but it can be found in rivers, lakes, ice packs, and even the atmosphere. Hydrogen can be found in plant tissue, petroleum, and even some animals. This is what gave rise to the theory that hydrogen is an element found in almost everything, including nearly all carbon compounds. Furthermore, it can form a body of compounds with all other elements, with the exception of some gases that are not connected with hydrogen. At this rate, it is safe to say that hydrogen compounds are becoming more widely available. Hydrogen energy can be derived from a variety of sources, including fossil fuels and biomass. However, keep in mind that scientists are attempting to obtain hydrogen energy on its own, which is nearly impossible due to hydrogen's clingy nature. Nonetheless, there must still be a button for renewable energy. To obtain pure hydrogen, the element will have to be extracted and isolated from all other elements with which it is associated. This is the first problem that hydrogen encounters because it requires time and energy to complete. Compared to other power technologies such as batteries and electric vehicles, the energy consumed to produce energy is greater in hydrogen than was extracted. This loss after extraction means the total energy loss in the harvesting and hydrogen production processes exceeds 55%. How much of a setback is that? This is also being addressed. The source of energy is very important, which is why we will go over it next. Hydrogen energy is classified into 3 types. The first one is gray hydrogen, which is the process of obtaining energy from fossil fuels. Blue hydrogen is a process that combines carbon capture and gray hydrogen practices. Finally, there is green hydrogen. This type of hydrogen is derived from renewable energy sources such as wind and solar, and as it stands, green hydrogen is the cornerstone for which all scientists have worked so hard. But it hasn't been easy to achieve this green hydrogen. But first and foremost, how is it made? Green hydrogen can be obtained in 2 ways. They are obtained either via a renewable powered electrolyzer, also known as power-to-gas technology, or through a steam of biogas reforming, irrespective of whether carbon capture is present or not. However, the majority of hydrogen power today is derived from natural gas steam reforming. Take note, natural gas is a highly sought-after resource but is also very limited. Scientists, on the other hand, have continued to document and develop innovations that will lead the way in breakthrough and boost the development and production of green hydrogen. Scientists discovered that they have discovered a new method for producing hydrogen gas from water at room temperature, and that this finding could be the first step toward a renewable and clean energy source. By the end of October 2021, hydrogen fuel cell power generators had already generated about 260 megawatts of electricity throughout the United States compared to the wind turbine. In 2020, the average wind turbine produced about 2.75 megawatts. This was a great celebration that year because they were still in a critical situation while figuring out how to advance their research. This was due to the need to produce in fuel cells. However, there appears to be a problem because 95% of hydrogen is produced through a natural gas related process, which is not renewable, according to the report from the United States Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. However, a solution may have been found. Researchers at the University of California, Santa Cruz have devised a method to create hydrogen by making a different type of aluminum material that shows contact with water at room temperature. Aluminum has not yet been singled because it does not perform well on its own. This is due to the metal forming a layer of aluminum oxide, a body that helps protect it by reacting when it comes into contact with water. Aluminum is a reactive material that separates oxygen from water molecules, leaving behind hydrogen gas. However, the discovery made by these scientists is that any easily created building of the aluminum and gallium elements can be used to get the substance to react with water at room temperature, producing hydrogen. Scott Oliver, a chemistry professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz, says that they don't need any energy input and it bubbles like crazy. He went on to say he'd never seen anything like it. Surprisingly, the hydrogen-producing mixture has been around for decades. Nonetheless, the researchers at the University of California, Santa Cruz discovered that increasing the concentration of gallium on the composite increases hydrogen reduction. Their method employs a tiny amount of aluminum, ensuring that it all dissolves into the majority. Furthermore, the composite can be made from readily available aluminum sources such as foil or cans. The disadvantage is that gallium is relatively expensive, despite the fact that it can be acquired and reused multiple times in this process. The process used by the University of California, Santa Cruz is still being studied to see if it can be scaled up for commercial hydrogen production. There was also a problem with this breakthrough, and hydrogen fuel cells are not widely used. When it is possible to use directly as fuel, it is a risky move, and while it may be possible to burn hydrogen directly as a fuel, tanks must often be highly pressurized to hold a reasonable amount of it. More breakthroughs were recorded in various centers as scientists around the world searched for clean green hydrogen. This is what prompted scientists from the University of Wollongong and the ARC Center of Excellence for Electromaterials Science to collaborate. They have developed a new electrolysis tank technology that is inexpensive, supplies cross-competitive renewable or green hydrogen, and brings green hydrogen closer to happening. The findings were published in Nature Communications on March 16, 2022, along with a report on the research team's capillary-fed electrolysis cell and its creation of green hydrogen from water and 98% cell energy efficiency. This productivity outperforms other electrolyzer technologies currently on the market. It is well above the International Renewable Energy Agency's 2050 target, allowing for reasonably priced production costs comparable to fuel production costs. The breakthrough scientist who led the research team is Professor Swigers from ACS and UOW, who provided critical information to the research team. Other UOW researchers, including ACS Director Distinguished Professor Gordon Wallace, also provided input. When Professor Swigers, HySATA's Chief Technology Officer, was interviewed, he stated, "Electrolyzers have been around for 200 years. However, the substantial volumes of renewable energy required to produce green hydrogen, as well as the current cost of electrolysis, has hampered large-scale adoption of green hydrogen. HySATA's overall electrolyzer system is designed for simplicity of manufacturing, scalability, and setup, with 95% of total efficiency, equivalent to 41.5 kilowatt-hours per kilogram, compared to 75% or less for existing electrolyzer technologies. Green hydrogen producers will substantially reduce both capital and operational costs. HySATA is proud to be at the forefront of technological innovation, introducing an entirely new category of electrolyzer that is as significant as the transition from internal combustion engine to electric motors. Professor Wallace also discusses his delight in the scientific breakthroughs and how it has affected him. "It was a joy to work on, and I spent a long time perfecting it. Many years of comprehensive fundamental scientific explorations have resulted in exciting new technological opportunities. The HySATA development is no exception," said Professor Wallace, "and we are honored to be associated with it." That is all we have for today, and if you enjoyed the video, why don't you give us a like and subscribe to TechSurge News to hear the latest in the world of science and technology. Don't forget to hit the bell button below to get notifications on when we post next. Thank you for staying till the end of the video and hope you enjoyed. TechSurge News signing out.